All right, we're back playing some more chess. More good than bad in the last episode, I would say. Other things, hey, like think a little bit more closely about your positions. I have like countervailing advice here, unfortunately. One piece of advice I have is think more carefully about my positions. The other piece of advice I have is move faster. So that's not very helpful. Would I be upset? Like I always take here. I'm way too like exchange prone. Here's the problem. If I just move and you push, then I take, you take, and then I lose a piece effectively. So I do think we have to take. Maybe I just give up the open file to their rook in this one. Like we have to do that. They're going to take with the rook because they have to. And then I'm going to take with this. And then maybe they're going to take, I don't know. No, they're going to go for the fork instead. Which actually forces me to make like the worst move of all time right here. You don't see that one too much in high level play. And then they've moved their knight to the center. You might call me crazy for this one. I'm willing to do a knight for bishop trade just to get myself castled. I don't mind having an open file here. My knight's got like an okay outpost. Okay, I actually feel like even though my pawn structure is obviously scuffed, that doesn't seem that bad for me. And now we try to go on attack and get some of these pawns. Okay, so we start to, this is nice. We get some pressure on you. Then we start to take control of the open file a little bit, hopefully. Coming down here. We have a check, but I don't wish to use this check. I don't mind this. Still, call me the Lord of not really minding. This is going to get annoying. Like, we're already in, like, I don't know if I call it an end game. But we're in, oh my god, we're in, like, puzzle territory, and you got my rook, you piece of crap. Okay, we need to fall back at least. We need to get some material in the exchange. Obviously, that's horrible. Yeah, I don't think it's lost yet. I don't think at the 1400 level, I would not consider this to be a lost situation. You have to go here, or not. It's going to take some work. Like a lot of work. You got to be really careful about this because it opens up your rook to attack. I still think we should just, I don't know, we got to be careful. I think I got to get ready to stop a rook from coming down here. I'm really hoping to catch him in a fork. Which is not something that seems particularly likely. This is like, I don't know, maybe there's something to it because we can actually get here and then threaten this at the same time. And we can outpost here a little bit. I mean, you're not going to do anything. So let me just take care of this space again. Okay. I've done it. I've forked you. It's just that easy. They say, I told you it could happen to anybody. Okay, let's take some control of the center here with the king. King's going to become a very valuable piece. I love covering this space. Honestly, I think it's time for like it's a gimme move to not lose some time. We got to be very careful where we open up pockets here. I don't love this yet because I love that I can stop their rook from getting here. It's a thinking man's situation. It's for sure. How about one of these? Somebody's going to have to make a move at some point. You may call me crazy. I think I do not mind opening this up. I think I win this race. I don't even think you need to calculate it. I'm sure there's some necessary heuristic you could apply. You got a long way to go. One of these. Just don't screw this one up. We can force him off, man. You know what we could also do? We could just go right here. And then we could start pushing this other one. Probably not the most elegant way to get that done. But like, come on. Okay, so don't let him get stalemated. That's like lesson one. It doesn't matter. The number one thing right now is just don't let him stalemate, okay? So as long as he's got pawns, you're okay. We're just going to start moving our king into the system here. You probably should not let him do this. 2 pawns is kind of annoying. Do I have a plan? Yeah, sure. Why not do exactly the same thing? Am I a little embarrassed with myself? Sure, yeah. I would say I'm a little embarrassed with where we're at here. This is going to be the saddest moment of my life. I can already tell. I have to push you out of this space. You have to go. I'm sorry. You have to leave. I'm sorry, you're not allowed to occupy this space anymore. I'm sorry to have... I think you did it. I don't know how you did it. And I'm, more than anything else, I'm embarrassed with myself. But congratulations. I'm going to give you the stalemate. I don't think I can get you out of there. You got it. You know what? I mean, I don't even... 0 missed wins? Hold on. What we're looking for in the end game here is a moment where I had it and lost it. And it must exist. I mean, I won the pawn promotion race. Yeah, probably when we were up by 58. That was the rare situation. I honestly don't think we need to evaluate that. I think the evaluation comes from within. And it's stop sacrificing your queen for a pawn, just thinking that literally because you promoted first, nothing else matters. That was like, we would just call that basically a throw. And I don't think there's any need to get too in the weeds, maybe is a good way to say it. I don't think there's any need to get too in the weeds about what went wrong. What went wrong is it was heavily misplayed. Okay, so what do we remember from this last time? You don't need to push c5, and if you want to do it, you don't have to do it right away. It's an interesting move. I mean, I'll swap you. And then I'm not going to swap you. Instead, I'm going to, I don't know, bizarrely... No, that's a bad move. You got to be wary about this. Honestly, I think I'm going to castle. And if you want to do this, then go ahead. I'll happily accept my open B file. I'm a little... Tilted's not the word I would use. I'm a little rattled after the last game. Rattled would be the word that I think would be most apropos. Simply because there was no need. There was no need for it to be so lazily tossed asunder. But you know what? You live and you learn. I think the idea that you're ever going to play perfect chess is a fallacy and is folly at best. Even, I don't know if you followed the candidates to determine who's going to play the world champion. People were lighting up like the best players on the planet. Oh my God, how could the 7th best player in the world make a blunder like that? This is so sad to see. And sometimes they have the audacity to be like, I'm a 1300 and I would never make that mistake. I'm like, if you're a 1300, you probably make that mistake like once every 2 games. Don't kid yourself, you know? It's a complicated game. Now, what we did in the last game is not good. You don't have to be, you know, Richard Rapport in order to understand what went wrong there. Sometimes you get in your own head. It's been known to happen. There's some opportunity for interest here. What do you think about like take? No, I don't like it. That's what I'll say about that. Is that I do not think is, well, or do I think it's kind of good? I don't think we should be trading a bishop for a knight right now. I don't think it's that bad though. This trade to me seems fine because this pawn is weak. Now the bishop, I don't really care. I could take it or leave it as far as I'm concerned. I don't mind just backing you up one to not get captured. Right. Yeah, okay. Things I wish I'd concerned myself with before they became a problem. Just completely blind to that one, quite frankly. And the check wins you a pawn. Honestly, what a sequence. Who would have thought? Also, horrible pawn structure here. Just god-awful. And then you get the potential like fork setup as well because you got double action coming at this. This is a bad situation. Okay, they don't want it. Would I be happy to trade down? Yeah, I think I would basically consider that to be, well, you know what? Now there's a part of me that's like, why would I? Ah! I misclicked! Instead, I don't know if this is right. But what I was going to do was move the queen to take, because then their queen, if they move their bishop, their queen would be in a hard place. But instead, I simply misclicked, and now I'm putting way too much pressure on this pawn for no reason, whereas this diagonal would have been insanely strong to have stacked up. But, okay, and then now there's a part of me that's like, what about this right here? Am I not feeling like pretty solid about that right there? We still can't really take, even if they move the queen off the protection, because then they just move the rook here and I'll lose whatever this piece is. Well, maybe you play that, but it's... I think it's optimistic. We kind of got to get our queen out of there first. I'm not feeling that bad, because now the part of me is like, you know what? What if I just play this? Where are you going to go? You can't go here? You're going to take my pawn? I feel like... Yeah, I feel like you would take my pawn. Okay. I feel like that makes a lot of sense, actually. Do I like that enough? I don't think that's good enough. I don't think it's good enough at all. There's got to be a better forcing move. Like, this is not that bad. Just follow it up with something like that. We lose a pawn, but maybe we can gain something better in the meantime. Like, is this a good enough move? Into this, into probably this. I mean, what's our end game? What's our game plan? At least we've opened this up a little bit. We could play this to put some pressure on. You take me. Now I got pressure on you here. We move this back. You know what? I don't play for a one-pawn statistical advantage. I mean, at my current skill level, it just doesn't seem to make sense. To play for a one-pawn statistical advantage and then grind it out in the end game, that's optimistic for me. I wouldn't think that that's part of my, like, my winning strategy. What I would rather do is play for, like, a tactic-style victory because it's more fun. So here's the thing. You take... I take. I feel like we got sufficient pressure to upset you. We got pressure on the bishop. We can move over and put pressure on mate in 1. We got this bishop. We could do something with at some point, presumably. They've moved the knight. Now, that is interesting because they've upped their own danger level. I don't think I have my own mate involved there. I got to admit, they've stood up to the challenge every single time it's been available. Definitely feel like I want my queen to not be here. Definitely feel like I have to do something here, otherwise it's checkmate. Definitely feel like I have 38 seconds on the clock. Definitely feel like if I put my rook here, they're still just going to put me a check. Okay, I'm going to put my rook here because I think it's the only way we might stay alive at the very least. Fair enough. Honestly, they've been using some danger levels. So I got to assume that they... Okay, very, very interesting. I mean, I don't think they can really lose at this point. And I know we have to be a little bit faster. Check this out. Look at this bad boy. Go ahead, mate. Go ahead, checkmate me. Oh, you can't because of my incredible move? Well, well, well. Now, this would be a remarkable recovery with 17 seconds on the clock. I got to give this gamer a lot of credit. I think they did some good work, man. We put some pressure on them. They stood up to the pressure every time. And they're not bumbling the win here, like me. Interesting. Okay, how about this? Like, I would be tempted to just be like, I win. See ya. I don't know what to do. You've successfully stopped me. You know what? Check this out. What's the... I'm in checkmate. Don't talk to me. I'm going straight into a new one. I'm fully tilted. I think they just executed a superior plan, quite frankly. At all stages of the game, I think they basically just outplayed me. Fair. It's the fairest of all. I mean, like, what can you say? It's like the fairest thing I've ever seen. I like this. I'm not saying I'm going to push c5. I'm just saying it's nice to know it's an opportunity. This looks fine and normal to me. If I may be so bold, let's open up the F file. Makes this pawn really weak, but may lead to some exciting situations. So they've castled kingside as well. Put some pressure on that. Pour some sugar on me. The thing is, for as exciting as this game could get, how are we going to execute any kind of cool strategy with two knights? I just feel like we'd end up, in all likelihood, there's probably going to be not enough material to really generate interest. By the way, we take, they go here, I go here, they, I mean, it's just, it's a cluster. Is it worth it to be a, oh, plus as soon as, no, well, I got to think about it. Let's do it. I think materially this might be bad. Like, that move just causes me a lot of problems, but... You trying to trap my queen, you piece? I'm just going back. I'm happy with what I got, honestly. So something like that, perhaps, is what you're considering and looking out for. What if I simply reply with something like this? A superior position for my queen to begin with, I believe. Love the idea of getting a knight here. Knight here is pretty good. It's interesting, isn't it? Why don't we start here? Let's cloud the hourglass a little bit. This knight can't move. This knight can move, but doesn't have many great moves. We're tied on time. We're up by a pawn that's hard to maintain. But their pawns, both pawn structures are not great. When you consider that I'm up by one, I would probably prefer mine. Here's an interesting one for you. I don't know. I just don't know what they're doing with their knights, okay? Here's what I'm thinking. Let's stack this up. That means we could... I'm thinking of something along the lines of like, yes, okay, this is what I was thinking along the lines of. Because now we get ourselves a freaking pawn, buddy. Okay. I'm just examining where we'll go from here because I see the problem. Obviously. I don't know. I don't feel like you want your rook down here. If I were you, I mean, I get that you got a pawn out of it, so congratulations. But if I were you, I feel like I'd be a little scared about my pawn being there, or about my rook being there. Maybe I'm a little, I don't know, maybe I'm exaggerating. Maybe I'm not. Ah! Okay. Yeah, that's a good move. I don't know why I didn't think that that could happen in the modern era. It definitely can. Well, how about that? I mean, we're just even on pawns. It's not a colossal loss. The major problem is I don't know where to put my freaking queen in order to not get blown the heck out, man. Is something like this? I would happily engage in some trading, I think. It does give them some positional purchase. We're never going to be able to defend this pawn. That much should already be known, probably. This puts some considerable pressure on this pawn right here. Have you noticed that? Many people have said it, and in my expectation would continue to say it. See, I was concerned about that. But then there's a part of me that's not concerned anymore. Like, let's puzzle it out. Don't. Check. Don't. Take. Take with the rook. We're basically threatening mate in one. If they take, we take. They go, okay, maybe it's a little harder than mate in one. In that case, I personally would like to threaten the queen and protect the pawn simultaneously. Ah! No. I'm sorry. We're not going to analyze that. That's what we in the business call tunnel vision. I don't even know at this point if I could have defended that. But yeah, probably any good player, my expectation is that they would probably tell you that the first thing you should analyze is, am I going to be checkmated next turn? And if the answer to that question is yes, then do something. I'm going to advance. We're getting stifled here already. They would probably say, get out of there. They would probably say, why don't you do something? Right? Yeah, I guess the right play is maybe this. I don't know. What are you doing to me? What are you doing to yourself in this situation? It's getting out of control. You want to trade? Okay, let's trade. What the hell is going on? Like look at this. What is this? I did this for a meme. What on earth is this? You think I want this bishop? I don't want this bishop. Look at the board. I'd be surprised you want yours, honestly. I don't know what to do with his knight, though. I don't know. Honestly, is a good question. I'm worried about like this. Then they take and put me in check. It's like a pawn for a pawn that I don't really enjoy. I'm just going to hit you with a quick h6. It's kind of like a stalling move. I'm not sure I would recommend it. Does h6 do anything for us? No, upon closer review, I would say it accomplishes approximately FA. FA being an industry term that you could probably figure out for yourself if you think about it for a second. Here's my thinking. Right now, is my plan. I don't know what you do. Okay, you do something like that. I'm content to trade because I think this pawn is useless anyway. My plan is this. Oh, but now since you've moved this, you've created some extra... That you dirty dog. How dare you? How the hell am I going to castle, man? Look at my pieces. I'm going to jail. And now I've got this. I mean, I didn't want my knight to go there anyway. You know what? Here's a move they won't teach you in chess school. I see you're going to put some pressure on that. I understand. I would too. I can't really blame you. I don't care yet. The knight has given me the protection I need. And honestly, I would happily move my bishop over here. I feel like I'm not as scuffed as I used to be positionally. Now I'm going on the attack. It's about to change. You got to retreat, I'm assuming. At which point I go on the attack. At which point, if I'm being honest with you, I'm kind of tempted to go on the dang attack. You're not pushing this down anytime soon, so maybe I go on the attack, for example. You're getting out of there, huh? But you know what I do after that? I'm thinking that I might be crazy enough to just go on the attack. What are you going to do? Oh, you think I like this bishop? This bishop provides me with nothing. I just want everybody to know that if you find yourself in a position like this against me, you did it. I should have covered this piece. Don't do what you're thinking. You know, actually, maybe it's not that bad. Maybe I'm okay with that. Yeah, maybe I'm okay with this. I'm not okay with having lost the pawn. That's something that I personally feel like I should have evaluated more closely. But I am okay with being a cool guy. By the way, much better move here. With being a cool guy who's too cool to get wins in chess. Okay, a move to there, huh? I see what you're going to do. I see what's coming. And guess what? It's going to be really hard to go there with my bishop covering this. Now, you should never have gone there. You need to find your way back to safety. Then we immediately try something like this. It is an interesting conundrum we find ourselves in. What a tangled web we weave, wouldn't you say? I would say. I would. How about one of these? Why does that matter? I had a reason that now is gone for me. Look, everything's covered, man. I resign. Okay. Getting a little lost in the sauce. I'm going to be honest with you. I got about 8 minutes before I got to leave for daycare. Let me get some 3-minute games in here. This should be good for the fact that I have not been playing mindful chess today. You know what? I'm a simple man when it comes down to it. If I can have E and D push to... I'm actually stupid, is the thing. Like, you didn't even think to check and see if maybe the pawn was covered. Like, that's not the first thing you check. They tell you to check on. You don't just assume that the opening is solved and the pieces are always taken care of. Whatever. Like, if we're going to play Psycho Ball, let's play Psycho Ball. Yeah, this seems horrendous. I resign. Because, well, you know, well, I guess I'll just show you. I'm like, no matter what I do, you could also put me in check. And then put me in check, and you get the idea. Like, don't go here, at least. But then if I go here, you just take this and you put me in check. I resign. Congratulations. Okay. You're going to say, like, why would you resign on that? I just want to show you. I bet we were down by 7 already. Let me see what 5.61. Yeah. For move 9, that's pretty bad. To essentially have lost almost a pawn per move, I think that bodes very poorly for your overall chances. Holy cow. You know what? Let's play the extremely normal variation of the French defense. Whatever the heck that means. I honestly think, I mean, people are, like, they're wired to give criticism. And I understand that. Not smart. It's, a lot of this is not smart. I would be content, and I think we're probably losing 2 pawns in this situation. I'd be content to just resolve the pin, okay? If you want to trade your knight for a bishop, by all means, go ahead. I think anyway. Wait, are you going to take my rook? If you take my rook, I can take your rook. But first, before we do this, what if instead of doing that idiot move, I did this real smart guy move? I really think that, like, part of chess is also just getting oneself back up to speed. I this week especially, I've had a lot of distractions. But I think that it's partially just like, hey, it's been a while since we played the sport of kings. You know, the time to get back to, like, fighting shape is longer than you might think. It might take you a minute. Okay. I feel like this resolves okay for us. Obviously, you take the bishop. Or I don't know, maybe you don't. But, like, it's a little surprising to me. What are we up? We're up by 1 pawn. I actually just love the idea of, like, forcing like a queen swap. Because the beautiful thing is that it seems like it relieves some pressure, but it doesn't actually stop this. I guess it does. No, it's a good point. But we can still, I mean, let's see if they got the stones for it. Threaten this? Okay, and now that they've done that, we do this. And then we got a whole whack of interesting things. So basically, all I'm saying is, I do appreciate the feedback. I'm sure that a piece of consistent feedback will be like, you need to work on your openings. That's probably fair. It would be hard for me to suggest that that's not a sensible take. Okay, I think, honestly, you should get out of there. Just fall back. You're going to push me again? You're not going to push me again. You want to take this space. And I honestly think that's fine. But first, I'm going to force you into an awkward position. Because I'm going to be honest with you. I might take this as well. I don't know. I have to think. I do want to take this, but I don't want to get 2 pieces set up in, like, a little nightmare zone. So instead, I'm just going to let this knight continue to terrorize you. Okay. And I'm perhaps going to continue to do the same right here. Basically, all I was going to... I mean, we only have 48 seconds. We should... I forgot it's not 5-minute ball anymore. We should... just give ourselves some time to get back on the horse that is known as chess. We got to stop this for just a sec. I just take this pawn, but also I don't need to give up any material for free. Why wouldn't you just take the pawn? Beautiful question. Wait a minute. Did I set up the most amazing play of all time? Don't go here. I think over time, we're going to regain the chess muscle, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Did I miss 17 mates in one there? It wouldn't surprise me. I'm about to be clocked. That's not the term that... Oh, that's where you're not supposed to go? Like I said, it's just stuff, you know, it takes some time. But then once you get your chest muscle back, like, everything's okay. We got to make a pre-move here. Move me. Move me. Move me. Move me. 13 seconds. I can't talk. I choose to go silent. Ah! I choose to go silent. I'm still choosing to go silent. I don't know what I got too deep into the pre-moves. I resigned. All right. This was like the worst performance I've had on video in a long time. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. See ya. It'll come back. It'll come back, Copium. The skills will come back, Copium.